Hey, so I wanted to talk about cancer and just the life of living with cancer and how it affects young people. Uh, I found out an old friend who had cancer passed away recently, and made me think about life and what I actually want to do in life. And I realized that I should do it. And one of those things was to YouTube about my cancer issue, my health issue, and here I am. So here's my first video, and I guess from now on, I'll be posting some videos about cancer and what it's like to live with it, and the mental side of it, the psychological side of it, the social side of it. It's really difficult at the moment because I want to open up, but I feel like the internet, social media, all at once as a thing is just positivity and just good vibes and show the best side of yourself. And it's like, well, I don't know. The internet needs the, I don't know, negative things as well. This is who we are as humans. This is how we move on. This is how we adapt and evolve, I guess. So this is me adapting. um, yeah, you might have noticed I like green. Green cup, green wall, green hoodie. So yeah, I was diagnosed in November 2014. Um, Started chemo immediately. The next year, in February, I had a knee replacement because my cancer started in my knee, in my left knee, and I had a knee replacement, recovered from that, and then went back to chemo. I had in 2015, I think I finished in November, so it was around a year of treatment. It was like 9 months of chemo and then 4 months of immunotherapy. So I did that, and then they were like, "Yeah, you're all clear." So I moved on, and I moved to Bristol and started, you know, doing my music stuff and whatever I was doing, just living life, and I started noticing new symptoms. This was like late 2016. So this is coming up to my first relapse when, yeah, towards the end of 2016, I just started to feel poorly and in my chest. I developed a cough that wouldn't go away. I became really short of breath, started having chest pains, and I was working in a nightclub at the time, and I remember just being in a shift, and it just kind of got very overwhelming very quickly in the space of like an hour. It was like 2 a.m. and I felt like I was going to have a heart attack. I felt like I was going to die like right there and then. And I just said, I have to get out. I have to go home. And so I went home. And just cycling home, I just felt like this deathly feeling over like something was terribly wrong. It's like I knew that something was not good. So the next day I went to my GP in Bristol, and they, based on my history with cancer, they thought, okay, we should definitely go and have an X-ray. And I went and had an X-ray, and yeah, it showed that the cancer returned. It was in my left lung, so it was the same job, chemo, surgery. Uh, so that was my first relapse. And then, so the timeline with that was the end of 2016, I got re-diagnosed with more cancer. And then I had chemo in January, February, and March of 2017, and then had a surgery in April 2017 on my left side, on my left lung, to take the tumor out, or the tumors, as many as possible out with clear margins, and they did that. So after my surgery, yeah, I didn't have any more chemo, and I just went on with my life. It was the summer, so I was quite happy to just move on with things. Um, yeah, that was summer 2017. it was a good summer. It was the best summer I've had since getting cancer. Um, and then after I finished my surgery in April 2017 on my left side, like in the summer, I started feeling the same symptoms on my right side, like pain, discomfort, in my back, in my chest, in my side, and in my mind, I already knew what it was. It's like I've had this for 3 years now at this point, and like I know how I feel when I yeah. So, but of course, it could be so many other things, but just based on the history, it just seemed like okay, it's this thing again. So yeah, I had more scans and I had a CT scan actually I think at the end of 2017, which yeah showed that there was now tumors in the right lung. So I had to have that sorted. So I started more chemo and I had another surgery, just a wedge resection on my right side, on my right lung. I had the tumors taken out, as many as they could, but as I had the surgery, the left side started playing up again, and I thought it was just recovery from surgery, but it was, yeah, it was some tumors regrowing. Um, so yeah, in 2018, in the summer of 2018, all right, now I'm just remembering how it happened. Early 2018, I had another surgery. I think it was January or February that I had a right-sided lung surgery in Bristol, and yeah, it's been a tough journey for sure. Like I'm a different person to who I used to be before I got cancer and before I had to deal with all of this stuff. But here I am, and finally I'm opening up about it because I've come across this psychological concept called learned helplessness, and it's just been eating me up. That together with self-doubt and insecurities, and I'm just so done with all of that. Like nah, I'm done with it. I'm gonna open up to you guys and finally just tell my story because like it's painful not speaking about it. I just had some bad advice in the past and not talk about it, and it's like why shouldn't I talk about it? I'm gonna talk about it because like right, yeah, yeah. My mind is a bit like all over the place because yeah, I'm just tired, just just tired of it all, and I don't know. I get this desperate sometimes, hopeless that it won't end or there's there won't be a way out. So like sometimes I've thoughts about suicide, but I'm never gonna do that because it's just irresponsible and sad and it's horrible. But it's there, and I think it's just the brain thinking like, okay, well, if I can't fix my problems, then here's a solution. But it's not a good solution at all. So, but I think speaking is like therapy. So if we talk about our issues and we actually understand our issues in language, it's like cognitive behavioral therapy, which is just talking, you know, with a professional, of course. But I mean, as humans, we communicate and we share our problems with each other, and we find ways to overcome them together. And I think that's what I think that's what the best thing would be right now for me is to open up and share what I've gone through, I guess. And so I don't know. I'm not sure like how to package these last 5 years. I'm not sure how to deliver them onto YouTube and how to talk about it. But I'm just gonna freestyle it, I guess, because it seems like it would, yeah, it would be the most natural way to talk about it, because yeah, the emotional side of it is tough. Like, I think it took me like half a year to really finally get the balls to make this video. So here I am. I'm just, yeah, I'm just not gonna think about judgment. I'm just looking to connect, So anyway, what I'm doing now, how's it like my health? So I went to Canada to to take advantage of the cannabis legalization, because I know cannabis oil can slow down tumor growth. So I went to Canada last December, hoping that I could take a lot of cannabis oil and help my situation. Um, I went on my own because I didn't have anybody else to go with, so it was kind of like it was a bit of a crazy trip, honestly. Bit of a trip. I don't regret it, definitely not, because what happened in Canada made me realize that I should think about my actions a lot more, plan my actions more, and really think about what I want to do. So I had to leave Canada last Sunday because a tumor in my left lung started pressing on my heart, and it was bleeding. So I just started spitting blood loads and got really short breath and really, really, really dizzy. And I thought, oh crap, this is not good. So I just went to the hospital in Edmonton, in the emergency room, and just, yeah. So I stayed in hospital for a week, and I had a CT scan, and the doctors said, the largest tumor in the left lung is growing, and it's pressing on the heart, which is a dangerous thing. So that makes it pretty much inoperable. And so I'm just left to drugs, I guess, drugs and immunotherapy or alternative ways of treating it. So yeah, the doctors recommended that I headed back home to here in England, and that I don't know, get in touch with my doctors here, and so I've done that. So I'm just waiting to see what happens next with everything. But yeah, I didn't have any travel insurance because I couldn't get any, so it was a massive risk that I was taking, and it didn't pay off. I'm still here. I'm still alive. Yeah, that's true. But I've now got this massive debt, this medical debt that I need to pay off, and I don't know. It's just all just so overwhelming. Sometimes journaling helps. I guess I journal sometimes. Just writing about it, just a page or two, and it helps to get it off my chest. But it's not enough. Like I'm feeling a kind of feeling a bit numb at this point to the actual like cancer thing. I've separated it so much in my head that I feel like I'm like partly in denial, but the physical side of it kicks in, and I'm like, oh, it's this. Like I get pain. I'm like, yeah, it's cancer shit. Yeah. I'm not gonna filter any of this, so. So, life is tough, but it's tough for everyone. Everybody has problems. Everybody has something they're dealing with. It's all just scale. Puts things in perspective. When you need to think about death when you're young, it really puts things in perspective. I'm not here to diminish anybody else's problems or anybody else's fights or battles, any of that. I'm just I just want to open up and connect because it's something I need to practice. I'm quite a private person, and it's actually hurting me at this point. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I hope you're well yourself. Yeah, I'll be making more videos. So, see ya.